Hey everyone, I'm Diana. I'm a 3-time startup PM and I've now co-founded my own startup, and I follow a lot of B2B SaaS companies so that you don't have to.
Hey everyone, today I wanted to cover this product called Longshot. Now Longshot is a content generation platform that uses GPT to generate long form content. I know there have been a lot of products out there recently that do content generation, and frankly a lot of them look very similar. But Longshot is actually very interesting. Now, there are a couple reasons why Longshot is interesting. One is they have more of a focus on writing long form content. This is important because typically if you're using something like GPT-3 to power this, there are constraints on how long your prompt and your output can be. So Longshot basically is optimizing the prompt that it's writing and kind of optimizing the UI and the UX experience to basically make it more catered towards writing long form content. Now, what's really awesome about Longshot is they specifically explain why they're able to overcome some of the common limitations of large language models. For example, one of the biggest problems with GPT-3 is that it has not been trained on any current content. So if you ask it who won the World Cup in 2022, it's actually not going to know. However, it's a little unclear to me exactly how Longshot does this. But I do believe that what Longshot does is it actually pulls in information from current Google search results and uses those search results to basically populate and give the AI more context so that the AI can generate a more relevant and more factually correct result. Now, the other really great thing about Longshot is because it's optimized for long form content, a lot of which is blogs, they have this like embedded SEO functionality that helps you optimize your blog to be more SEO friendly. So that's also super cool. They do also have a bunch of templates that help you get kickstarted on different projects. But I personally think that a lot of products like Copy.ai and Jasper have templates as well. So I think even though the templates are nice, they're kind of like a known quantity at this point. So a little less exciting, but still important. So this is also super interesting. One of the biggest issues when you use AI to generate text is that you can't guarantee it's accurate. So they've actually built this mechanism that checks whether or not the stuff that was generated is actually factually accurate, and it can provide citations. Now, the other really great thing about their website is that they have this like great section that just like compares them with all the existing tools, because they probably know everyone is just like thinking, how are you different? And funnily enough, I'm actually testing out this product called ScaleNet as well, because it looks also very specifically optimized for long form content with SEO optimization. So I was going to take a look at that product as well, but it's so funny that they also included it in the comparison list. I mean, there have been so many products out in the market that it makes a lot of sense to actually do this, even though you're kind of telling people who your competitors are. If you have like a valid story, this actually helps people make the right decision about what product to use. So I do like that a lot, particularly in this space where there are like basically 10 competitors. All right, so I will say that I tested out the product really briefly. I think it is very cool. I think I'm actually going to use it. I put in my credit card. And I'm contemplating whether or not I'm going to go past the free trial. I might pause it for a little bit because I'm still like figuring out our content strategy. But once that's ready and I want to start generating things, I think I will actually consider using Longshot in my day-to-day job. But I think what is maybe perhaps a little confusing and missing is that because they have so many different templates in their product on different use cases that you can use Longshot for, it does get a little confusing in terms of how you would actually use the platform to the best of its ability. Now, they actually very smartly have this like dashboard that includes like getting started videos, a boot camp, recipes to get you started. I really like this particular element where you can just go through like the things that you want to try. They highlight what they're particularly unique for, the FactGPT, and push you there. So I think they have a lot of features that make it easier to use the product, but I definitely think like if I decide to keep going and using this product in my day-to-day job, I do want to maybe watch a couple of these videos to really understand whether or not I'm using things correctly. Now, the other thing about FactGPT when I was using it is that it's not entirely clear how it functions. Even though I'm sure like what they're doing is factually correct, it does get a little scary when you're not entirely sure what the inputs are into the model. My guess is it's probably just like pulling from more recent Google searches, or they actually allow you to upload context or URLs or documents that you can use as inputs into their AI model. So I think it kind of makes sense to me how it works, but I definitely feel like you want to test it out, make sure you feel comfortable with what it's generating. All right, so the one thing I did want to highlight in their product is just how freaking cool it is. And not just because it's like generating stuff, because I mean, at this point, generating content is like a known quantity. But what's really cool is how they really thought about how does someone go from a blank sheet of paper to actually writing a piece of content. So for example, when you write up a blog, I've already written a blog here that I'm going to actually try. I'll obviously edit it and like, make it a little bit more, sound more like me, have some more like original content and thought in it. But I've basically like written a long form content, and they're really smart because they start you with like research. They'll be like, well, tell me what topic you want to focus on. And then they'll give you some ideas. Then they'll help you generate like some headlines. They'll help you generate an outline, and then they'll actually help you generate that blog post. So it's very step to step. So it's very step by step, which also ensures that unlike typical GPT-3 where you tell it, oh, write me a blog about lead scoring, you're not able to get a long form piece of content. It'll just give you like literally 8 sentences. Instead, because you're kind of taking this approach of going from one prompt to another and generating a longer form of text, probably via prompt training, you're able to get, I think, higher quality long form content with something like Longshot. So I'm very optimistic about this product. I think it's super cool. I'm going to maybe write a couple blogs using it. And if you're writing a lot of content that is longer form, more blog oriented, you want to try to also optimize for SEO, I think you should definitely give Longshot a shot.
So I know how hard it is to stay up to date with all of the SaaS products that are literally coming out every day. So I have a playlist that covers all the SaaS products that I find particularly interesting that you might find interesting as well. So if you think this is useful, hit the subscribe button.